My beautiful souls, I think I am live. I just want to double check. All right, so hopefully I'm live. Um, so what are we doing today? Well, have you ever felt like a subtle pull or a whisper in your soul suggesting that there is more to your soul story than you realized? Um, is destiny trying to reach you? Let's see why destiny is calling many of your names. So, I hope I am live, and I'm just going to proceed as if I am. Just check it out again. Pretty sure. Um, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to get on my phone, make sure I'm live. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use well, I have 3 decks out, but I may use more than that. And we are going to let our guides bring our messages to us. So I just want to make sure. Interesting. So I'm on my channel. It says it's waiting for me. Well, here I am. Hi, Chris. You have just learned about the 3 meeting theory. The idea says we meet a key soul 3 times. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't know why I'm not getting a screen. Let me. Chris, can you see me? Can you see my actual desk? This is why I don't go live very often. Okay, now I see me. Yay! Welcome everyone. So today, again, I apologize about not knowing if I was alive or not. Um, but I am so happy to be here with all of you. And I just want to make sure you all can see me. Yes, beautiful. Hi, everyone. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this reading. And, if there's some time afterwards, we'll just talk. So, what I brought out is the Psychic Tarot, the Tarot of Dreams, and the Universal Tarot. I am going to bring the lid down, not too much. We will use the Crystal Vision, though I do have the Gilded Tarot, or I'm sorry, I have the Romance Angels ready to go. The Clarifying Love Situations all ready to go. This Tarot of Dreams, so I have a bunch. So, what I'm going to ask, same as I need to do for myself, is just take a moment and just calm our minds. And I just want to try to connect. Okay. All right. So, Psychic Tarot. Now, this is the second reading I've done for soul contracts. And one of the main reasons why I felt guided to do this again is because I feel like some of you, there are certain soul contracts that are coming to completion. And for others, I feel like there's contracts that are getting ready to open, which would make sense being that we're leaving this 9th year of a 9-year cycle and entering into that clean slate of the Magician. So, something we really should get excited about. And because I have you here live, I would also say, if you can know your personal year number going into 2026, that's going to help you a lot. So let me just take a second for those who don't know how to arrive at this number. Take the day you were born. So I'm going to use myself for an example. I was born on the 13th in the month of September, which is a 9. So I'm not going to take the year, just the month and the day. So 9 plus 13, or you can say 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 3 is 13. And then what I do is I just make that a 4. And then you add it to the year. So every year you do this. And really you just move one step ahead. So again, where was I? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, wait, I'm doing my math wrong because I am entering into a 5 personal year. So somewhere I'm doing my math wrong. But that's what you do. You take your day of birth, your month, and then add it to what not your birth year, but what the year is. So don't know why I'm getting my math wrong. All right. Let's go ahead. Okay. And let's begin. I love how they all came face up. And it is literally like a message. Well, this is what we're here for. All right. So we have the 8 of Swords. Don't love that. That is a self-created prison. But listen, it's the first card. So I feel like for some of you, this is you breaking yourself free. You may feel freer than you ever have. I feel like for some of you, this is your thoughts. And it can be like limited thoughts, like, am I worthy? Can I be successful? Or whatever it may be. You're trying to protect yourself, which makes sense. And we all do this. But as we, let's just say, evolve spiritually, what we realize is our intuition is what protects us. So we're starting with the 8 of Swords. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, a tower. That makes sense. I get it. I don't want a tower again. We have your intuition. Interesting that I just said that. Then we have temptation. And then we have hope. So temptation is a card of Capricorn. Hope is Aquarius, is major arcana. But let's look at this. So clearly, someone has been through a tower type situation. I kind of feel like you didn't expect it. But here's the thing. I feel like you could ask yourself this. Have you been lately, or maybe always, tempted to those that how do I say this? This is what I feel like this soul contract is about. It is about facing the shadow, naming the shadow, and eliminating the shadow. I shouldn't say eliminating, balancing, because we always have that shadow part, but it is also our protector. So I feel like here, it's telling you, don't give up hope. Something of the past is still affecting you today. But this is something I definitely feel like has already happened. And I feel the person or the people here, I just feel this sense of, am I even lovable? And the answer is yes. Because I feel like the thoughts, they're someone else's, but they landed in your mind. And that's where they stayed. And I feel like this is an opportunity here to evolve. Like, I feel when this person breaks themselves free, and I feel like what you need to do here is just simply look back and be like, and ask yourself, whatever this tower was, did I have a red flag? Were there red flags? Because I have a feeling there were. Now, don't judge yourself, because we all ignore red flags until we know better. And this is what your intuition is here for. And I love it's connected to hope, your wishes, your dreams, but it's about making them your reality. So your guiding light is your intuition. And I feel like you dealt with the darkness, and now it's time to deal in the light. So I simply feel like this message is saying, we know that you have been through it. We know that. And there is a pattern here. And if you find the pattern, you solve the problem. And when you solve the problem, everything else just opens for you. It becomes easier. It becomes clearer. Your intuition leads you instead of these thoughts. I have a feeling your guides are helping you to clear these thoughts. So it's not only about the thoughts, it's about eliminating these thoughts that are well, let's just say, if you say to yourself, because this is self, you say to yourself, no one's going to love me. Or, these dreams I have, they're never going to manifest. Well, in a way, that's what you're saying to the universe. The Eight of Swords. When you have that realization, what you do is you break yourself free. And then your intuition is like, thank you. Thank you. So, long story short here, someone was just tempted to lower vibrational energy, as many of us are, especially in our younger years. Don't allow that. And the way that they were, don't buy it. Just don't buy it. Trust yourself. Break yourself free. I don't feel like you have to worry about towers, especially if your intuition is really going to start leading the way here. It just feels good. It feels right. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take one or two crystal visions over it. I don't want these to be super long. But then again, I'm going to let them be whatever they want to be. It's funny. Every time I say that, I don't want them to be super long, I'm reminded that they will be what they want to be. All right. So even though I really don't feel like I need a clarifier here, look at that. I asked for two and I got two. That doesn't happen very often. Six of Wands. Well, my friends, this is victory and success. It's interesting because it is like a brand new day. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like some of you are going from this very limited thought type of energy, and you are overcoming something that feels pretty major. Now, this could be like things that, a few different things, but this is you where other people are really looking up to you. And isn't that interesting? Because I felt someone kind of felt worthless, but that's not what we think. So this is victory and success. And then we have the Four of Swords, healing. Let me tell you what this energy can do for your soul. It can make you one of the best healers around. And that is probably why I'm feeling this as other people reaching out to you, all because of the wisdom you have gained over your own experiences. Like you tore that tower down. And I just find it's beautiful that healing came out. But the thing I want to say about the Four of Swords, though, usually you'll see three swords piercing the heart, and we're lying upon the fourth sword. And I feel like that is our own truth. There's no sense of lying to ourselves. And here, I feel like the truth may be that I was just attracted to certain type of energy. But once you know that, I feel like you change it. And then once you change it, I feel like you become the one on top. You become the healer. And I just have a feeling some are going to be like, there's no way I could be a healer. No way. I have too much bullshit on my hands. You're exactly what the universe looks for. All right. So we're going to close that message. And again, hello, everyone. I do have my phone out, but I wanted to do the reading first. Okay. Let's stay with the crystal vision. And we're going to go on to another soul message. Here's what I would tell you to do if you're in the room right now. Because if you're live with me, it's like you're literally in the room with me. So what I would do is ask your spirit guides to put within me, like maybe questions that you have. And I don't mean like any old question. If there's something that you feel that your soul needs to hear, ask your spirit guides. Put it within Sandy. By the way, my name is Sandy. I go by the Rambling Psychic. For those who don't know me, and I read through our spirit guides, and that's why I'm saying go ahead and feel free to ask your guides. All right. Message number 2. The universe. This is the world. This means something has come to completion. This is exactly why I'm doing this reading, by the way. And it's not just of what's coming to completion. It's what your soul wants you to know next. The universe, I feel like, is, well, first of all, let's say we're in the month of December, and December is a 3-month. So December is meant for joy, gratitude. Think of the 3s in the tarot. But I also feel like this is representing 2026. So we know 2025 is coming to an end. 2026 is opening up. And okay, I like that. Rejoice in celebration. This means there's going to be something to celebrate. By the way, 33. So we have some master number 33s here today. When I see 33 in a reading, what I feel is that there's something within that reading that someone is meant to master or has the ability to master. So we'll see. The universe. Today. Brand new 9-year season. Beautiful. The sun. It's called light in this deck. This is your illuminator. I mean, look at the energy here. So the world, brand new. And immediately, it's like there is something to celebrate. And the sun lets me know that whatever it is, it will be illuminated. So it may be illuminated in your intuition, or it just may be illuminated. The sun is also playful energy. So don't be afraid to allow yourself to play a little. The sun is also very healing, healing energy, and the sun will take any seed. So think of your seeds of intention and nurture those seeds. They will grow, the sun will grow those seeds. So let's keep going. Let's see. The sun is also Leo's ruler. Patience and planning. This is the Seven of Pentacles. This, my friends, is your tree of life. And although you can't see it in this image, I really don't. I don't love this image. This is about, again, why I'm doing this reading. The Seven of Pentacles to me are your soul seeds of intention. So I feel like at least one of those seeds are coming to fruition. I like that it's a 7. That feels spiritual to me. Or 7 is a spiritual number. And here it says patience and planning. And for some, that may be the case, but I have a feeling if that's the case, you've already been doing, like laying the groundwork to something. And maybe not even knowing why. Like, why am I doing this? Well, because I feel something. I feel something. All right, let's take what's face up first. The 8 of Cups. And then spiritual strength. So look at your spiritual guides being illuminated here. Now, when we say the universe is about first a completion, well, the only thing I see here that would be close to completion would be the 8 of Cups. And here they call it emotional withdrawal. But I kind of love this image because this is someone sitting at like the water's edge. And anytime I see anyone out in any type of nature, I feel like you're healing. But I feel like what you're doing here is you're letting the tides wash your worries away. You're giving away the things that you had no control over. This is, I feel like for some of you, finding real emotional clarity. Something may not have worked out, but if it didn't work out, then it was a stepping stone to something that is going to work out. And I'm not saying that because I'm saying that. I'm saying that because I feel that's what your guides are saying. I don't know why I always say, I feel that's what your guides are saying. That is what they're saying. Look at that, 7, 8, 9. So, this is a remembrance that you never walk alone. And this is really about being proud of oneself. This is the 9 of Wands. So this type of reflection, this isn't like putting yourself down. This is saying to yourself, look how much I have grown. Spiritually. Even if I've done nothing yet, as in what it is I want to do in the world, it's the spiritual growth that's really being illuminated. And to me, that means that there's something spiritual, of a spiritual nature, that's coming in. And it may also be of an emotional nature. And this is why it's important to, again, let go. You know, the thing about the Eight of Cups is, although it can be temporary, difficult energy, when we're dealing with our emotions, but I have a feeling there's like someone waiting in the wings. And this person in the Eight of Swords, they feel like they've been there long enough, like they've reflected enough where now they're ready just to give it away. Give it away now. All right, let's bring in the crystal vision. So you have some seeds, soul seeds, that are now coming due. Understand that one of them is now complete. And this is why the universe is opening this reading, but the universe mirroring the sun, nothing to worry about here. And I feel like who's ever reading this is, like, I feel like you are starting to walk hand in hand with your spiritual team. Like they are a part of your life. They're a part of your decision making. Six of Swords. So, someone just left a situation. Toxic, cold, no longer serving you, nothing left to save. I mean, just look at the atmosphere she's in. It's cold, icy. And she's not taking it anymore. She is not taking it anymore. Or he. This means that you've had that realization that even if I love someone, but they're toxic to me, I can't keep devoting myself to them. And nor should you. Because your spiritual team would tell you, oh no, you should not. Unless they, again, were like a stepping stone. Hello, Empress. Now you want to talk about growth. This is amazing growth. And I feel that. I feel like I'm someone who started a little lost and I now am the Empress. And what does that mean? The Empress, loving, nurturing. She hasn't shut her heart down because of someone in the past. But what she does is trust her intuition above all. This is someone who's very creative. And she can think, or he can think above for a lot of the epiphanies and ideas. This is someone whose spiritual team knows if I give you an epiphany or an idea, I know you're going to create from it. I just know it. So I'm going to give it to you. This is someone who definitely has been through a lot. This is how she gets the Empress's title. By the way, we all carry the Empress's energy. It's just reaching it. It's like reaching your true soul's essence. And what I love, because it does look like you dealt with a lot, yet at the same time, I feel like there doesn't feel like there's anything here to try to save. Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. Because I feel like the Three of Cups is someone coming in. I feel like this is going to be love. And I feel like that's why we're seeing the Empress. Like it's a reminder. Don't close down your heart due to someone else. I just want to follow that for a second. By the way, another 3. It's funny, there was one reading, I can watch it be the first soul contract reading, where we got 3 3s, and I Excuse me. And I looked it up. 10 of Wands. What weight have you been carrying around? Whose problems? Right? Their problems, their situations. Them, me. I feel like that is someone you were dealing with. Me. And you're like, F you, I'm gone. Because you are leaving with clarity. There's no doubt in my mind here. And I feel for some of you, this can represent where, I almost feel like I have a water sign where you are so loving and nurturing, but sometimes it does come back to bite you. Like I think of my daughter as a Scorpio, and, she's just so loving, but there are some who take advantage of that. And I feel like that probably happened to you. The 10 of Wands wants to end, and the universe is allowing it to end. And I feel like what action is needed? The Six of Swords. And that is really moving on, is what it's called. Moving on. I just want to look at that Three of Cups for a second, and then I'll let this one be. I want to look at that Three of Cups. Interesting. The Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. It's like I have two younger lovers here. And that's what I feel. Yes, the Page of Cups can talk about your inner child. Page of Swords can talk about the learning to use your voice, your authentic self. But what I feel is I have two younger lovers. And I can only feel that there's going to be a reconnection here. I don't feel it's expected. I don't feel it's expected. But I definitely feel it's going to happen. And here's the difference between this and this. Toxicity, coldness, all the responsibilities on your shoulders. Here, the universe is saying you're going to celebrate this. The sun, whatever is done in the dark, will come to the light. So you don't even have to worry about that. And you don't want to worry about that. And that is probably why the Empress is here. Like if someone cheated on me here, then I could be fearful that I may be cheated on again. But I feel like what this is saying is when you realize like the type of person, this is different. And the sun's is gonna illuminate that for you. This is playful, and I have to say the sun often reminds me of like a hometown, like a place where I have happy memories. So some of you, because we do have moving on, some of you may be actually making a move. And I don't feel like you have to be making a move. When you look at this reading, it's interesting how long we give certain people to love us. Where in reality, if someone doesn't show their love, then we need to take that as an answer. Another way of saying that is I feel here as the Empress. You may have been the Page of Cups in your younger years, but now you're the Empress. And part of your soul's contract in this lifetime may have been how to master love. And when I say master love, I mean knowing when it's done, and not allowing myself to think, well, that's it. I'll never love again. That's free will. But that's not what your soul wants. Not here. Not in this reading. Because I have a feeling your vibration is raising. And I have a feeling, since divine is telling you, this is something that will bring joy to your heart. And the sun is kind of like your protector in a way for those who feel like they need it. You know, what I would say is allow yourself to feel that joy. You don't have to go from A to Z. Go to A to B, and then B to C, and C to D. You know what I mean? But it may go from A to B, B to C, and then C to Z. Because I feel like you already know each other. But it's going to be that getting to know you again type of energy. Kind of reminds me of Sam and I's story. Like, we were teenage lovers, but then when we reconnected, we were adults, so we were different, and we had to get to know each other again. Okay, I'm going to pick this one up. You know, it's so weird how, I don't know. I mean, this is just me, but like the choice to go live. And then I tried to go live right before this, and it wouldn't work. And I thought, I'm going to give it one more shot. All right, let's do one more with the Psychic Tarot. And I don't know why I'm cutting them, but and I'm not ignoring anyone. Oh, look at that. I just want to really hone in on the messages. So we're going to take what's face up first. Hello, Magician. And hello, Lovers. The Magician and the Lovers. That's powerful. I'm almost afraid to turn this card over. Discontentment and boredom within one's emotional world. Though many of you know, in the Four of Cups, a cup is coming in. Unfortunately, you can't see it in this image, but it literally is coming from the hand of divine. So there's nothing to fear. But if you do notice, this person has their back to the world. And it's interesting because I'm picking up where I may have my back to the world, but just in the emotion, just like on an emotional level. You know, other than that, I feel like you're active, you're in the world, but I feel like your heart, and maybe you are waiting for someone really special. You know, the Lovers is a card of Gemini. I should say that. The meaning is a head over heart decision. But you have the Magician right beside it. And you have divine on the other side of it, bringing in this cup. So I feel like it's talking more about the chemistry, the undeniable chemistry. And I just get the sense of when their hands touch, lightning strikes. Like they're soulmates. They're soulmates. And I definitely feel not just soulmates, but we've had many past lives where we have loved and we have loved. Interesting. Man, it makes me want to do a past life reading. Because I'm telling you, like I hear we have loved like so deeply. This isn't broken from a past life. So this doesn't feel like something is coming in to be healed. It just feels like divine timing, to be honest. Okay, let's keep going. The Ace of Swords, triumphant success, and number 11, which often ties back to twin flames for me. For some of you, it could certainly be a twin flame. Could be a Virgo. This is the Hermit. And you know what's interesting? We have both 2025 and 2026 being represented. But the ones tell me this is not something that's like way out there. It could be right around the corner. Interesting, we have two cards where it is kind of like solitude. But let me tell you what else is happening here. Because Virgo and Gemini both share Mercury. And the Ace of Swords kind of feels like Mercury to me for some reason. It's also my yes card, by the way. And it's also the truth. Like truth that cannot be denied. But in a good way. I mean, it says triumphant success. Some of you may be using your voice, and someone may be picking up on that voice and be like, oh, who is that? We have emotional loss. It did kind of flip around. Well, it did flip around. I'm going to leave it flipped because I kind of feel it that way. And I'll tell you why. And again, unfortunately, in this image, you can't see it. But in the Five of Cups, that is really when we're focusing on the past, on the cups that didn't work out. You know, and some of you, you know that, right? The 5 plus the 4, 9. 9 right beside it. Reflection, the spiritual reflection. Because this isn't just anybody. It's a soulmate or a twin flame. And I know that. I just know it. It's in my heart. So what happens after the 5 of Cups? When you make the change that the 5 asks for? Many of you know the answer. There's 2 cups behind this person. Well, there's our lovers. That was weird how I said that. There is our lovers. Okay, lovers. What you got to say next? And I am picking up a message for some of you because, you know, what I'm feeling, I am going to timestamp them once I'm all done. But in a way, the reason why I don't like time stamping them is because one message can be for many. So we'll see. I might talk myself out of it. But I was going to say something else. What I feel is, even though someone may not have like emotional fulfillment at this point, I don't feel like you've been wasting your life. I don't feel like you've been like laying in bed crying. I'm not saying that the sadness doesn't overcome you here and there, but I kind of feel like you may have been sent like into the dark night of the soul. So it could have been something that was just not easy. But in the same breath, you know, what have you learned from it? Because when you think of the hermit, the wise old soul, the hermit becomes wise through the experiences. And if we never allow ourselves to experience, even if it's a little scary, then how can we become wise? You know what I mean? Anyway, Three of Wands, optimism. So this is living in the present moment. This is saying to divine, and in this reading, I know my cup will come in. And then meantime, I'm just going to do my thing. Some of you may be creating a business. Some of you may be learning about spirituality or tarot or some type of healing. And it really is, I feel like it's very interesting to you. Like it's holding your attention. And I have a feeling it was meant to. So it is a state of gratitude also. And I have to say, when we're in a state of gratitude, many blessings come our way. And that's not why we should be in gratitude, but Eight of Cups. Well, we know that something happened because, again, the Four of Cups, you're alone. It's interesting from the 4 to the 8. But then we have another 8, the 8 of Wands. What I think about, I bring about. What I think about, I bring about. And I want you to think of the power of that, especially with the Magician and the Ace of Swords here. You know, I feel like here, you can look back and you can say, because I don't feel a lot of sadness. You know, I don't feel fulfilled, but I don't feel like I'm in this heavy state of sadness. What I feel is maybe I stopped believing that there really was the perfect person out there. Well, don't look for perfect because everyone's imperfect. But look for someone whose vibration is very close to yours. I feel like the person here, like, I'm not interested in teaching someone how to love. I've been there. I've done that. And I feel like the wisdom of your experiences and the knowing when to walk away, like here, I feel like you know these things. And you know that what you think about, you bring about. I feel like that's why the 5 of Cups is in reverse. Someone is looking for a soulmate. And that's what's coming in. And maybe the month, let's say December through March, well, let's look right at the Lovers. I don't even know why. Oh my God. Passion ignited. Passion ignited. You know, that means you don't have to look for it. You're going to feel it. That means, yes, put those intentions out there. And be clear, but not too clear. Like I often say, you don't want to say, oh, I want an Italian guy with blue eyes and dark hair. And, you know, and you may want that. But what I would say is I want someone who knows how to love, who wants to be in love, who is of the same vibration as I am, who can teach me and, you know, I was going to say, and me, them, but I mean it on a different level. Like soulmates definitely help heal each other. Karmic soulmates are where the lessons lie. But listen, you know, my question before I took that Ace of Wands was, it feels like it's happening between January and March, but then the Ace of Wands comes out. So I feel like, okay, January. Another reason why I'm probably doing this reading right now, and I just did one, but something told me to do another one. 2 8s. You know, ask yourself, what do you want a new beginning on? 3 of Wands, gratitude. And while I'm waiting for my ships to come in, I'm over here busy creating, learning, loving life. I'm saying loving life, but let's just say a love. Like, I feel like some of you, you're finding a love for something, um, like something you're either going to do or something you have already begun. So again, I don't feel wasted time here. Not like the Eight of Swords. So, I don't know, guys. Just get ready. Get ready. And how do you know if it's for you? This is why I tell you, when you go into a reading, try to just calm your energy. Try to open up your intuition. And if you have a hard time doing that, then that's where you pull your guides in. Spirit guides. Let me know what messages are for me. And they will, but then trust that. Okay. It's so weird. I feel bad, like, not looking at the messages. I'm going to do one more psychic tarot. But at the same time, I want to keep my focus on your readings. I don't know why I'm shuffling them every time. But every time I shuffle, I feel like I have to cut them. Okay. Victory and success again. This person is yelling it from the mountaintops. Yelling it from the mountaintops. You know what I feel like? I feel like someone is yelling it from the mountaintops because I feel like a lot of people didn't believe in you. You may have had what they would say were wild ideas, but they didn't feel wild to you. They felt very doable, and you did them. And now it's like, world, take notice. And the world is. And by the way, this person's standing on a cliff. And it's reminding me of the Fool. I was just going to say, so where is that taking you next? Foundation and achievements. I can't talk today. Well, there's a big, beautiful rainbow behind this house. Some of you are moving into a new home. It's like a family. Maybe you're moving in together. I feel like someone may have a child or children and the other person may not. And I know that's not going to be for everyone. By the way, I'm picking this up intuitively. I also feel like if I am house hunting, then I feel like you're going to find the perfect house. And how you're going to know is the energy. When you walk in that house, there's just going to be something that just like, this is it. But can I also say, like, I'm also picking up a message, and I don't know how this is going to come about, but I feel like there's someone walking into someone else's house. And that just happens to be your future lover. Or maybe I should say your future spouse. But you are walking into their house. For some reason, I don't know why. Okay. It's funny, but I'll tell you what I just saw in my mind's eye. I saw a woman with a daughter selling Girl Scout cookies. And this is why I knocked on that door. Now, I know that's not for everyone, but boy, is that for someone. Recognition and reward. Wow. It's like everything is going your way. But listen, to reach the state of victory and success, that means that you have put work in. I'm saying everything is going your way, and it is. But it's because of your work, the groundwork that you've done. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Authority. I don't know. I always make that noise with him. This is the Emperor. Some of you, business ownership, leader of the people, and highly qualified. Highly qualified. Some of you, this could be your future. Well, let me just put it this way. For those who are still looking to have children, why am I saying still looking? For those who want to start a family, this is the father figure. Let's see what comes with him. Movement, choices, and decisions. And then interesting memories of love. This is the Six of Cups. This is about nostalgia. Happy memories, treasured memories. Can be of a person, can be of a time, and it may be both. Are you moving? That's interesting because the movement is coming over or under foundation achievements where I literally feel like this is a new house or home. It's a home. And by the way, the 2 4s, the Emperor is also going to live in that house. And there's a lot of success in that house. But it didn't come overnight. Some of you, I feel like you're going to get like a raise, a bonus. Well, it is Christmas time. So I guess if there's going to be bonuses, this would be the time. But I feel like some of you, you're taking that and you're putting it towards like a home or a goal. Some of you may be moving back home. It's funny how much I get that message. But again, this is not someone else like buying you a home. I know that would be great, but you may be splitting it or combining, or you're buying your own home. But then I do feel like the Emperor eventually is going to live in that house. All right, let's take the crystal vision over this. The 6 of Cups is mirroring the Emperor. And the Emperor really is meant to be someone that we can look up to. And this is because, just like the Empress, they have been through it, right? They love to help lead people. They love to help give people a hand up. Not a hand out, but a hand up. That is their payback. Yes, they make money, but their payback is that feeling that they feel when they know that they just, I want to say made someone happy, but it's much deeper than that. It almost feels like the saving of our lives. Strength card over victory and success. Interesting. Some of you are kicking some habits, and there is no better time than right now. Strength card is the inner you. It's the light and the shadow, but you're still claiming victory over that. So this is something that you yourself have done. Like, all the credit goes to you. I don't know why I put the strength card up there. but that's where it wanted to go, but I'm going to bring it back down. Card Leo also, by the way. And the Emperor card Aries. I don't know if I said that. Ace of Swords. But look what's growing up that vine. Look what's growing up the swords. Roses. Love. Ace of Pentacles. You know, can I just say, whoever this is for, your 2026 is going to be a year. I mean, you're setting anniversary dates. You're putting a pin in dates where you will come back year after year and celebrate. So whether it's like you're getting married or you're moving in with someone, it is love. But when I say that, this is not taking away from everything that you have done, because I feel like it's you who has reached this victory. And by the way, that doesn't mean like, oh, I'm rich, I have the best job. It may just be victory within yourself. But there are other people recognizing you for what you do. And I feel like for some of you, like this Ace of Pentacles is like that bonus. And some of you are taking it and buying a house, whether it's a down payment. I mean, if it's a bonus that lets you buy a whole house, I want to work where you work. But I don't think that's the case. Let's just put it this way. I feel like the Ace of Pentacles is the way. Ace of Pentacles, they all come in as seeds. But the Ace of Pentacles means that it's coming into your physical world. Like the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, that's more like emotions. But the Ace of Pentacles, it's tangible. It's touchable. And baby, it's kissable. What do you need to do to reach that energy? What is your soul asking? Just be willing. If you feel an intuitive nudge, just be willing to follow that. There is a true recognition of your growth, your spiritual growth, your financial growth. Everything. There's like nothing I can leave off the table, because I'm hearing it's everything. Like they are not the same people they walked into 2025 as. And when they leave 2026, again, they will not be the same people. They will be of even a higher vibration. And you're falling in love. Some of you are falling in love with the future father of your children. Some of you are falling in love with someone who gives, I want to say gives themselves the title of a leader, but it's because that is their title. It's not an egotistical thing. And I have a feeling the Ace of Swords, and I want to say one more thing. I know I'm going on and on and on, hence the rambling psychic. I have a feeling that the things that you've overcome, I have a feeling the Emperor had similar things that they needed to overcome. That balance of the light and shadow within us. There's things that I was tempted to in the dark. I now know that. And again, because you're claiming victory, it's like if it's something that needed kicked, you kicked it. But your whole life is changing in this little reading. Like Everything is changing, but it's only getting better and better and better. And like I was saying earlier, this person's standing on a cliff. And that reminds me of a fool. So, what are they about to take a leap of faith in when they already have victory and success? Love. This feels like a protector. I have a feeling they have a protected spirit, like that's what they will do. I protect you. I'll be damned if anybody can come near you and hurt you. Not when I'm in the picture. Not when I'm in the picture. Okay. Wow. All right. I'm going to let this one be. All right. Let's go ahead and change decks now. Let's freshen it up a little. By the way, hello everyone down there. I'm looking at my phone. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. I should have looked. I'm so happy to have you all here, though. Oops, I just lost all the comments. It's been a long time since I've been live, over a year. And I didn't even put out a notification because I didn't know. I just had a feeling I'd have trouble going live. And that's why I didn't. Normally, I'd put out a notification to subscribers and members, but I just literally didn't think it was going to work. All right. So we are now on to the light seers. And I'm going to grab a drink. And refocus. All right. Let's begin. Page of Pentacles just flipped itself around or flipped itself out of the deck. Page of Pentacles to me it speaks about a learning experience, like what you've been learning along the way. It's a very chilled out type of energy. You know, like not stressed. The Hierophant, interesting. Card of Taurus. This is really, the Hierophant asks you to ask yourself, you know, are you living life according to your standards, your morals? And I feel like this is what you've been learning. Like, I feel like, and it's funny, like there's a stairway to heaven. Anybody remember who sings that song? I know you know. But anyways, it feels like the stairway to heaven. And it's like each step is what you're climbing. Each step is a higher vibration till you reach the ultimate step. This person is happy. Happy, happy, happy. Why? Because I feel like they have learned not to let the weight of the world fall upon their shoulders. I feel like they help where they can help, but they don't allow themselves. You know, it's interesting. It's like I don't watch the local news because all they talk about is car accidents and this, you know, things that there's nothing I can do about. So why? It's like I don't want to feel that pain because I feel it. So I just don't watch it. And that makes me happy. Hello, King of Pentacles. You know, it's funny. I was just literally thinking about Sam just for a second because he's the news watcher. And his name, he just popped in my mind. And he is the King of Pentacles. And he looks a lot like that. Not quite that beard. But he does look a lot like that. This king is looking towards the future. Interesting because the Page of Pentacles, look what they're holding. This pentacle. Okay? And look what this king is holding. The pentacle. This feels like the younger version of this king. And they traveled the path of spirituality, of faith. I would say this person definitely has faith. I'm not going to say religious. Could be, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love this big dog, I think it's a German Shepherd beside him. I just love that look. It's so funny. The guy reminds me of Sam. The dog I would like to have. But this is really a representation of the spirit guide. Okay. Anyway, I feel like this king traveled through, learned about faith, spirituality. And it's interesting because if you look at this image, is like in a library, and they have it all blurred, but it's like just bookshelves or shelves of books, right? Book after book after book. So I feel like this person very wise. Okay, keep going. Six of Pentacles. Six of Swords. Oh my God. And the Six of Cups. Don't let your mind go to a negative place, because angel number 666 has nothing to do with what many tie back to, let's say, the devil. Okay. I felt this. I felt this. I felt that this king, and what this king has learned, and I feel like this king is someone that that maybe you haven't seen in quite a while. I feel like this is someone, like if you called up and you said, like, I can't pay my rent. I'm having a hard time paying, and you really can't pay your rent. Not just asking for money. I feel like this person would give it to you. You, not just anyone. Boy, I just get this feeling again, like, are some of you moving back home? Or are they moving back? And is this going to reconnect? Because I feel like they're thinking of you. And when they think of you, nostalgia. I like this person a lot. And what I like about them is they were willing to go through hardships, knowing that they had to, if they were going to reach an ultimate goal. Now, their goal, I don't even feel is material. I feel it's more spiritual. And therefore, they want someone who is also spiritual. I don't feel like I said that right, because I don't feel like it's I want someone who's spiritual. I feel like they want you, spiritual or not. But chances are you are, because I feel like this energy feels kind of like, in a way, magical, but it's not magic. Okay, I feel like I have, and this may not be for everyone, but I also feel like part of this story, but maybe an avenue of the story, is I feel like two people were married, not to each other, separately. And I feel like each one of them had to deal with a lot. And I'm not going to say the relationships that each one of them was in was bad all the time, but it did get bad. And then it stayed bad. And I feel like this king left either a marriage or a relationship. And I feel you did too. Or you're thinking about it. And by the way, if you're thinking of someone as I'm doing this reading, it could also be because they're thinking about you. You know, the Six of Pentacles talks about compassion and empathy. And it is learning that fine art of give and take. You know, where I feel like this king, you know, again, like, I can't pay my rent. Well, let me pay it. You know, it's not my father. But yet, I just feel like he wants to pay my rent. I just want to fix the problem. Probably a Virgo or a Taurus. Well, it is sitting right next to Taurus. That's what I feel. I just want to fix the problem. Okay. Let's bring in the crystal vision. Look at that, the Four of Cups again. Dang it, you can't see it in this one either. That cup that's coming in. But it does talk about discontentment, boredom in one's emotional world. Can be disconnecting the emotional part of yourself. Page of Wands, interesting. I have a feeling that's you. Seven of Cups. And the High Priestess. Okay. I feel like this page, like, it doesn't negate everything I've said. That still is a part of it. But I definitely feel like this Page of Pentacles is also this King of Pentacles. And I feel like you are this page. What is it? Cup? No, it's right in front of me. Page of Wands. And it doesn't matter your sign. And here's what I feel. I feel like when they think of you or remember you or think back, they remember your spirit. They remember your unencumbered energy. I have a feeling you're someone who was at the front of the pack. Like, if we're going to jump off the bridge, I'm going to be the first one who jumps off that bridge. Now, I'm not saying go jump off a bridge, but when I was growing up, there was a bridge that we used to jump off of as kids. But that's not why I said that. What I'm saying is I feel that you were like the leader, or let's just say within your friend group, like you were the house that everyone went over to. We hung out at your house. So the memories they have, like, are you being bold, taking chances? I have a feeling, very passionate. And I feel like they're remembering all of that. And I have a feeling you have forgotten that part of yourself. Now, another thing I want to say with the Seven of Cups here, I feel like that can put your mind at ease a little bit if you're fearful, because the Seven of Cups means the ball is in your court. So to me, that means that this king reaches out and then you ultimately make that decision. And the Seven of Cups can talk about chaotic energy. I do not feel like it's a king. I feel like the opposite with this king. I feel like he's very laid back. And maybe you are opposites, but opposites attract. He's listening to his intuition. His intuition is guiding him. This is a soul contract, and this soul's contract is now or soon, because he is looking towards the future. Just going to go one over here. Look at that. So I just wanted to see what he was looking at. He's looking at the Fool. And back in the day, you'd be more than willing to take that leap. Back in the day, you just felt if you fell, your angels would catch you. Back in the day, you didn't hold on to all these earthly worries. You were your own free spirit. And today, you're returning to that energy. You're returning to that energy. That is your soul contract. That is what's meant to happen. And I just feel like it will. I feel like you are going to take that leap of faith. And it's interesting because the Fool, a 0 here, well, you know, we often talk about the infinity number. Well, the 0, the same thing, right? There is no beginning or end. And there could have been lifetimes of love. And I am not feeling anything of pressure. I just feel loved. I feel loved. I feel loved. And so be it. Okay, I'm going to let that one be. All right. Hi, guys. I know, I just thought I'd glance down real quick. Vida from India. I'm sure I'm saying your name wrong. Chris Taylor. Chris. And I'm sorry, I'm not really reading the comments yet, but just want to give you a shout out. Izzy. Robert. Probably half of you aren't here anymore. By the way, I was just about to shuffle and cut again. I do have chat replay on or live replay on. So this video will be available even when we're done. 8 of Wands. Card off the table. 2 Swords. Ten of Swords. Interesting. Well, the first thing I want to say is the Ten of Swords has come down to the Two of Swords, or the Two of Swords is turning into the Ten of Swords. And how will I know the difference? Depends on whether I take off the blindfold. If I take the blindfold off, I don't feel like the Ten of Swords will exist. Or let me put it a different way. If it already exists, I feel like it's the end of it. If I keep that blindfold on, then I feel like, you know what it feels like? It feels like a karmic loop. That's what I'm feeling. Or those are the words that were put in me. Like a karmic loop. And who's got to close that loop? You do. But listen, you know, there's nothing that you're going to experience in this lifetime that your soul isn't prepared for. Doesn't mean your soul knows everything is going to happen. How could it? Right? Because we carry the pen and paper. We co-create. That's what the magician is about. You know, it's funny. I was thinking last night, and I was thinking I should record my thoughts. But I was thinking, like, when you think of the Fool, right? The beginning. And the first person the Fool meets is the magician, which I feel is a great mentor. So the Fool is teaching, or the magician's teaching the Fool. You have all the tools on the table that you're going to need. And then I was thinking, which I already know this, but then you go to the High Priestess, your intuition. Your intuition is your GPS for this lifetime. And then you go to the Empress. So what I was thinking is, how much time has there been between the Fool to the Empress? You know, there's certainly some things that happen in between. I don't know why I'm talking about that right now. Anyway, I feel like here, you know, this is one of those readings where I feel like it's either going to be good or it's not. But who has control over it? You do. Because it is what you're thinking about. And because someone's wearing a blindfold, which means there's something you don't want to face. And I have to tell you, I feel here, you know those swords exist. You may even know that you're in a repeat pattern or a karmic loop. But it may be the change that has stopped you in your tracks. You know, we can become very comfortable in the uncomfortableness to the point where we wear these blindfolds. We don't face what we need to face. And she's looking right at that Eight of Wands. What I think about, I bring it back. Am I bringing about another sword, another karmic cycle? Part of me fears that you are. The Queen of Cups. I do love this image because I feel it's very clear that this queen is comfortable in all kinds of, what's the word I want, energy. And I feel like that really does describe the water signs, because they care for all. Not just those above the water, but even those below the water. This is someone who's connecting also to above. And you do not have to be a water sign for this to be you. And that's just the way I read. But what it means is that your heart is opening. And I'm not even going to say you're looking for love. But I feel like you are looking for, what's the word? Harmony. You're looking for harmony. She's got a key around her neck. Look, what just flipped itself around in the deck, the Tower. I'm not surprised. But look at this, the Wheel. All right, so some of you, this is definitely a karmic loop. And that Tower, this is nothing I'm predicting, other than if I stay in this same cycle, it will have the same outcome. Like this, I can predict. If I continue, and I'm not being honest with myself, will it get better? You know, I won't say that if this is a relationship that someone else can't evolve. They can. But this really feels like a karmic loop. So even if they evolve, I don't feel like this is about two people staying together. This could have been like, for some of you, this may have been an opportunity to pay like a karmic situation to pay it off in full. But you have to know that. And here's the thing, I feel like you do. Whether you tell yourself that or not, that's another story. Here's the Wheel. What does this wheel want to do? It wants to turn. It wants to move. It wants the hell out of these swords. It wants light. It wants destiny. It doesn't want karma anymore. The Knight of Pentacles. Interesting, because this is guardian angel energy. And this Knight, you know, I feel like we can trust all the Knights, but they do call this the most trusted Knight. This Knight comes at the right time. And this Knight brings you a pentacle. And this pentacle is meant to change your life. Not just change your life, enhance your life. But I don't come in until the timing is right. And I know what it's asking for. It's asking for that blindfold to come off. And that action alone gets everything moving in the right direction. You know, this is kind of beautiful because this is letting you know, like when you face those fears, when you walk through them, there are blessings on the other side. They're just waiting for you. This Knight will not come in until it's time. But I don't know why I'm talking like this. And I'm sorry. But that's what I'm feeling like. You cannot talk me into coming in before my time. But let me tell you, when it's time, you can count on me being here. You can count on that. So I feel like some of you have a guardian angel, and I'm not going to say they're frustrated because they really don't get frustrated, you know, but would they like to see you take that blindfold off? 10-4, big but what's that saying? I feel like somebody's guy just said that. 10-4 something buddy. 10-4 good buddy. Wow. Sounds like a dad or like a brother, or it could be an uncle. I feel like it's someone in your family. We have the Moon. And it's interesting because the Moon is like, is it upright? Is it reversed? I'm not sure. It's a little bit of both. So we're going to leave it in the upright, but just consider it all. So the Moon really is dreamy energy. but I know exactly what the moon is here for. It's saying that someone is not taking that blindfold off because what they fear is the uncertainty of what lies ahead. This could be the perfect energy where putting some plans in place. You know what I mean? Like, start thinking about what it is you want to do. What do you want to do next? Close this karmic loop. If nothing else, I pray that that happens, because that's all that has to happen to get this destiny moving in, I want to say the right direction. Um, but I'm not going to frown upon this either, because this is all part of life. So, the uncertainties. But go anyway. The Chariot. Just trust yourself. The Chariot is the balance of the feminine and the masculine, the light and the shadow within ourselves, the light and the dark. And then it truly becomes unlimited potential. Well, this is your potential. And it doesn't even have to mean I have like a goal that I'm chasing. Because I feel like when you are, let's just say, when the Knight of Pentacles does come in, and this Knight brings this Pentacle, chances are you're going to have some epiphanies, some ideas. You're already going to know what you want to do with that Pentacle. But I feel like that's exactly what your guides want you to start thinking about. And then literally some of you are jumping in your car, or maybe you're buying a car. And maybe that's going to be your freedom. Maybe that becomes your freedom. I feel like for someone, I just feel like you're going to take a long ride. Like back roads, windy roads. I see it. Music on. And you're just going to let yourself be in the moment. I see you. And I hear the music. And it feels like rock music. And that must be after the blindfold is off. Some of you, that's what you're buying. You're buying a car. And that is what's going to give you your freedom. It's almost like you were stuck. Like literally, physically stuck. All right. I just want to see if anything else wants to come out with this. The Hierophant. Again, your truth, your faith, your morals. When you see the Two Swords going into the Ten of Swords, you're living someone else's life. You're living life according to their standards, not yours. You may have a little of you here and there, but I don't feel like you're living your true essence. I feel like this is a big component. Because it is a 5, and it wants change, or it asks for it. And, I feel like it's pretty simple of, well, let me just say it this way. And this is not judgment when I say this, and I'm saying it because we all have done this, at least most of us. I feel like some of you may have like gotten caught in the web of like a narcissist narcissistic type of energy. And they can make it very difficult to leave, but also very difficult to stay. Like, what the hell do I do? Right? And I feel like because I don't feel like this is about this situation getting better. I feel like this is the end, if you so allow it. Again, for some of you, ending this karmic cycle, which is the night's perfect time for coming in. And whatever this night is bringing, it puts you in the Chariot's energy, which it then becomes unlimited potential. So whether it's a car that gives you freedom, or whatever it may be, and the last thing I'm going to say is, because this is a karmic loop, and if you close this loop, and no wonder 2025, like, we're entering in that year of the magician, the clean slate. So if I can close this, it's an opportunity to go into 2026 with that clean slate. Now, maybe I can't physically close it, but I can spiritually close it. Like, I get it. Like saying to you guys, I get it. I get it now. So I need a little help out of here. And they will help you. And maybe that's what that night is waiting for, you to ask. Okay. All right. I'm going to move to the Universal Tarot. And I know I didn't use the light seers for long, but I want to make sure I use all the decks. Because I don't want to make it too much longer. Our guides will let me know. Okay, don't love that cut. One more time. One more time. All right. And I should say, if you're new, I had just done another soul contracts, because there was, I think there were 7 messages I got, and I did timestamp them. So this is going to be an ongoing series because I really love it. But you may want to listen to the first one. When I'm done, like, uploading the video and all that, I'll also put it on the end screens for you. Okay. Seven of Wands. This is about standing your ground. But look at this. Hello, Knight of Cups. Unexpected couple fulfillment. Chances are love, but we'll see. It's interesting because I feel like this night has nothing to do with the energy of standing your ground. They feel like different energies, like almost like different time periods. What do I mean by that? Like past life, present life? Maybe. Interesting. The 10 of Wands. Look at the energy surrounding that night. Why? Tell us more. Tell us more. The 3 of Cups. Kind of, well, I'm going to leave it in reverse because it was more in reverse than upright. The Six of Swords. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm starting to get the story. Oh my gosh. Judgment. I know, I say that all the time. Oh my gosh. But this is why I love reading tarot. Like, it still blows my mind. And I've been doing it forever. But it still blows my mind. So, Judgment, let's start there because this is your spiritual team. And they are calling you to the present moment. And they're telling you there is an opportunity for a rebirth. I feel like some of you, you're unwilling to make a move, but you're not happy at the same time. You know, the Ten of Wands reminds me of like trying to push a boulder up a hill. But that hill never ends. So I got to let that boulder go. That's what Judgment would ask you to do. Just let the boulder go. It's not your responsibility to push it up that hill. This Knight of Cups feels like a promise from your spiritual team. And it's very similar to the last message, though I don't feel karma here. I don't feel like anything karmic. I feel it's more like free will. I definitely feel that you are not in a joyful state. Quite the opposite. You may be in a defensive type of energy. And what's coming below that Knight of King, the Six of Swords, which is moving on. But because it's in reverse, chances are I'm not moving on. But you're also not happy. That's clear. And I feel like I just get this sense, as long as I stay in this situation, I'm going to continue to push that boulder. No one else is going to take it for me. And your guides are like, but it's not your responsibility either. I feel like there's some spirit guides that aren't messing around. Like they are really trying to get your attention. And why? I feel like it's the Knight of Cups. Two of Swords. All right, well, that makes sense, right? Because that's what I'm feeling. Like, I feel like I don't have to go into great detail here. I feel like simply I'm pushing this boulder up a hill. I feel like it's my responsibility, but it's not. And I don't feel like it's been working out in your favor. I feel like the boulder is only getting bigger and heavier and bigger, and the hill is getting taller. You know what I mean? Like, there is no end in sight. But there is. Look at that. The Seven of Wands, but now in reverse. The Eight of Pentacles. Well, eights, a new beginning. You know, if this has anything to do with work, because the Eight of Pentacles could definitely signify that. Some of you may be in a job that you've been wanting to leave. And I am certainly not going to tell you to leave it unless you want to leave it. But what I would ask is, you know, and I'm saying a job, you know, it could be more, it could be other situations also. But I just feel this sense of you not getting the recognition you deserve. You know, it's almost like you're trying to help everyone, but no one's trying to help you. It's like you're doing all the work and everyone else wants to take credit. I feel that at work, but I also feel that in life. I feel like you have so much to offer the world. but you do have to believe in yourself. You know, the Eight of Pentacles would tell you, don't put something off because you think you don't know everything. Eight of Pentacles is about learning as you go and knowing one day you will be the master, whether that be the teacher, the healer, or just the master of your own domain. And remember, it's also the infinity number. As above, so below. You know, that's a reminder to me that there's nothing that your soul has not already gone through and hasn't overcome. And if there is, that's what karma is. So if we feel like we're in a karmic cycle, then we really want to think about that, because it is, you know, it's kind of like a backwards opportunity, but it's an opportunity to pay it off for eternity. Case closed. No double jeopardy. All right, I'm not done yet. Interesting. King of Swords or the King of Pentacles? Take your choice. Interesting. Do I feel like we may be switching kings, or the potential of switching kings? I do. Now, King of Swords can represent Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. But now I want you to forget that, because I feel like what this is saying is some of you have been dealing with someone who, you know, it's interesting because I'm feeling the energy of Mercury again, but almost like Mercury in retrograde. And I feel like that's how someone talks all the time. All the time. Hurtful. Demanding. Yet doesn't seem like they give you anything. And then we have this King of Pentacles. Can I just say, I feel like some of you, because this Knight of Cups is unexpected. Some of you may be meeting this king, doing something that you love doing. If your interest gets piqued, this is the time to follow it. Like, why am I thinking about this? Get online, just type something in, you know, like type something in about it and see what comes up and see if it keeps pulling you in deeper and deeper. That's why I started with tarot. It just started as a kind of like an epiphany, but then it just grew and grew and grew. So I kind of feel like some of you are switching kings, and that's if you want to. But it's interesting because does this Knight come in? It's interesting also because this Knight's got the Seven of Wands in reverse, where this Knight, the Knight of Swords, you know, I can't help but think the Knight of Swords is causing the two swords is yours. You got to claim that. That's wearing a blindfold. But I do feel like it's a King of Swords energy that is just making my life difficult. And let's just put it this way. I feel like this King of Pentacles, because I do feel like your spiritual team is helping to guide you together. And it may come at a time when you least expect it. Do you have to be free of one energy? Not necessarily, because I do feel for some that you may start down this avenue, and it could be work related, but it may be your creativity. It could be you doing something on your own, but then you meet someone who has very similar interests to you. They are like-minded. With this person, it's like the first reading. Me, 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 me. And I feel like you gave. You gave. But I feel like this king just calms your energy right down. Just calms it down. This king, aggravation. This king, calm. Your spiritual team, they're telling you this is not about the past, not even about the future. It's about right now. It's about that blindfold. It's about you allowing yourself to explore. Put down your defenses. Stop pushing that boulder because it belongs to someone else, not you. This king's. Let him push his own boulder. That's just what I feel. All right, I want to take one more. Well, there's that Queen of Cups again. So I'm putting her right in the middle. Queen of Cups, loving, nurturing. I feel like the Queen of Cups came out because this is talking about love. But it's talking about bad love and then good love. But I almost feel like I have to get through one to get to another. It's like I got to kiss some frogs to get to my prince or princess. But what if your guides are trying to introduce you to your prince or princess? They're not on top of that hill because you're never going to reach that top. You're just going to keep pushing that boulder and that boulder and that boulder. Not yours. Let it go. Put down your defenses. Allow your mind to be open so you can receive epiphanies, because you may start down a whole new road that you never really expected. And on that road is this Knight of Cups. I do not feel like we're talking about the past, because I feel like your spiritual team is saying this is not about the past. This is about you and your present and your future. And you got to start thinking in those terms. Your future, your life. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to let that be. It's so interesting. When I do lives, the one thing I remember about doing lives is I completely lose time. So I have no clue how long I've been on. But I do want to say hi. Oh, so I just got rid of all the comments. How stupid. You want out of analog, but too old, too broke and broken, too alone, too certain. I can't achieve from this position. You need to change your position. You need to change your wording. You're not too old. You're not too broke. And you're not too broken. That's what your guides will tell you. You don't have to read anymore. It's all on video. I don't know what you mean by that. Wow, you quoted him word for word. Oh, I hope that's a good thing. Taylor, new guy is Virgo. He's a wish. And a water cleanses my mind. Just showered, and there you were. Virgo. My guy's a Virgo. Virgo, sun and moon. We actually did a podcast where we talked about our love story, and there's so much we left out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I should have wrote things down, like different talking points. But I feel like there's so much we left out. So um, I think we're gonna continue if you guys want. But also, Sam's like, I can help answer questions. I do want to teach him how to read tarot. I don't know that he's into it though. So only if he's into it, but he can certainly help. He can give us a man's perspective. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys. Taylor, you're tapped into you. Yep. Oops, I just keep knocking myself out. Okay, guys. It still doesn't tell me how long I was on, but I thank you guys, and I think I'm going to start doing more live readings. Um, and then we'll go back to doing the live questions and answers. But today, I thought I really wanted to pick up on your energy as I did the readings. So I thank you. I love you guys. And I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful evening. It's nighttime here now. I don't even know how to end this. But have a beautiful evening. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.